Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Oh, boy. There I am. Hello, Miss. Hello and happy Friday. Coming at you live here at Inside Production Studios. We had some technical difficulties, but we're here.
We're back.
In Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Rob Morales of RCO Network. RCO Network. Good people, better business, discovering the best of you. For the next hour, we're going to be talking to a very special guest of mine about life, business, and all this fitness stuff. Towards the last segment of the show, we're going to be having a live question and answer session. And as you have questions, just go ahead and type them in, and we will answer them as we go along. If you're watching us live, hit that little heart emoji because we love the loves. And if you're watching us on the replay, give us the little wow emoji because, wow, I can't believe you're not watching us live. Find us here on ourceonetwork.com and on Facebook at Our CEO Network, Instagram, LinkedIn. And with all that said, she has a bachelor's of science from the University of Arizona. Beer done. She opened Scottsdale's Goddess Fitness Women's Gym facility, awarded the Elite Trainer and Businesswoman of the Year in 2011 and 2012, honored in 2017 as Scottsdale's People to Watch, named 2019's Voyage Phoenix Magazine's Trailblazer Award. She's currently offers concierge fitness services as the owner of Jodi Stokes Fitness. Please welcome Miss Jodi Stokes. Yeah, I got to add the studio audience.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I got to calm the audience down there. Excited. Miss Jodi Stokes. Hello.
Hi. How are you today, Robert?
Oh, pretty good.
Good.
Are you getting a little? I think I can hear a little bit of an echo. Do you have the volume up?
I have the volume up, but I can hear background from your side.
Okay, I think we're good there. All right. Hello. We're getting a lot of difficulties, but we're here to talk to you, Miss Jodi, about your business and your life a little bit. And so you have this whole fitness business. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And so we invited you here today to kind of talk a little bit about that. But, before we start into that, I wanted to, ask you a little bit about you and your endeavors and kind of the things you've been involved in life. And one of the things that I was exploring about you, and you have a lot of accomplishments. I see that you're a mother of two. Is that accurate?
2 boys, grown.
So this whole fitness thing, how is that involved in? Has that been kind of like something that's involved you and your family in your fitness business?
Well, no, my family back in the day when I went to college, they wanted me to go into finance, and I swore my dad said fitness. So
oh boy.
back when I would come back and forth from U of A, bear down, by the way,
I did see that.
he would have me work at a financial brokerage, and they would find me in the file room doing sit-ups because I would just be so bored sitting all the time. So, after, a couple of major changes in school, I decided on exercise science because I loved studying the human body. I loved the, kinesiology, physiology, all of those things. Plus, we got cadavers at U of A, so that was super cool.
I never saw those.
And I wanted always to help people and make a difference, honestly. So it wasn't necessarily an endeavor of my family. It was something that I just wanted to do that I knew that I could do well and was interested in. So that's where I started.
So how long you been in the fitness industry?
So a long time. I just turned 57 and I got my degree in 85. So my first job was at Canyon Ranch, which is world-renowned, Canyon Ranch Spa. Then when I was 23, I opened the Scottsdale Princess as the fitness manager. So, 35 years now.
Yeah, that was actually one of my questions. Looking at your photos and some of the videos, because I was doing research on you, I was hesitant to ask how old you may have been, because obviously looking at you, you're very youthful, and you would automatically or kind of assume that you're in your 30s. You're very fit.
Thank you, Robert. You're my favorite person today.
Oh, I'm being honest. I don't, So
you did good.
When you see that you have two sons, one that just graduated from U of A as well. I saw that.
Both.
Both graduates.
So, yeah, I'm their alma mater. Yeah.
I graduated from there too, so that's why
I know,
it's,
I know. They're down.
that's a big deal for me.
It is a big deal.
Um, but looking at you, you wouldn't assume that you're 57,
Thank
and
you.
um, it's kind of crazy. Has this fitness thing really kind of has that given you the strength, I guess, the ability to stay youthful, not only in presentation but in spirit too? Because
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes. No, absolutely. Fitness, well, everyone knows what fitness does for them. I think
yeah,
a lot of people feel like they have to be fit because, or they have to eat salads, or they have to do this because, they're going to be thinner, or they're going to be this, but it's wellness rather than fitness. I want to say it's wellness. So, I sometimes I don't want to work out, but I make myself work out. And sometimes I don't want to eat a salad. I'd rather eat a pizza, really. Or sometimes I'd rather drink a bottle of wine, but I don't, because, I just know that how it affects my body. And plus, I have to be an inspiration for people. And so I appreciate what you're saying about the youthfulness of it. And it's just it's inner wellness as well as much as outer wellness. So it's also it's meditating, and it's praying, and it's doing a lot of things to help me on the inside as much as the outside. And I might probably have some good genes, Robert.
it always
I'm
helps
not
too.
gonna lie, and maybe a little Botox now and then, but other than that, at
Oh, you
least I'm
couldn't even tell.
real.
Well, and that was actually kind of one of the questions I did want to ask is, how does, being a woman, period, and in this industry, is there an added pressure to have to stay fit? I know that's part of the business, but just as a woman, do you have those challenges? Do you face those issues?
You know, I try not to be competitive with other people in any way. I'm competitive with myself, and I
Yeah.
think we all have our we all have our beauty, or we all have our attributes, or we all have what we do well. And so I don't look at it like that. I celebrate people who are in fitness. I celebrate young people if they're looking good in a bra top, and their abs are ripped. I'm like, I'd always been trying to get ripped abs for 35 years. So my theory on all of this is that I don't poo-poo anybody in fitness or who has a gym or anything. I celebrate them, because the more people that are attracted to whatever that person's doing, great. That just means more people will be fit, honestly. And if I'm an inspiration at my age, great, because I've been working on it. It's my life. It's my life's work. So um, so I don't see anything as being competitive. We all learn from each other. I feel, everyone has their attributes. So
Yeah.
I guess that's how I feel about the industry. And just always do your best, work your hardest, and compete with yourself. Always improve yourself rather than trying to be somebody else.
Yeah, because and you're part of a number of women's groups. I think I knew of you through Influential Women's here in Phoenix. You're part. You always seem to be kind of in the mix too. Going and trolling through your Facebook, because I do that sometimes.
That's okay.
It
It's
always
good.
seems like you're part of some event or part of something, and you did talk about inspiring other women. Is there an added pressure with that too to to
You
be
know,
the
I I'm a woman's woman. So I grew up, my mom was very philanthropic, and you know, she contributed to community. So I've always felt like contributing to community is a big thing. Women's groups, my women's gym was for women to feel in a comfortable environment that was non-intimidating. That's kind of how I live my life. I am comfortable knowing people and being around people. So whatever I can do to contribute and help and be there for other people, that's how I live my life. And geez, influential women, Christiane Acosta, I just adore her. She's, talk about a woman's woman, she's always supporting other people. Women of Scottsdale, I love these groups. These women have supported me for a long time. So I think once you find the right group and you're participatory in the way that you want, and whatever it is that they're doing to contribute to the community, that's what helps to make you and other women more supportive. We need to continually support each other. And
yeah,
oh.
Yeah, and I will kick it back to Christina because she's been a big supporter of us too.
Mhm.
She hasn't necessarily been a major role, but she does support us in some of the posts and some of the mentions that she does.
Mhm.
And so I do want to appreciate her for that too.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
so again, looking at your kind of bio and kind of your history, you grew up in Phoenix, grew up in the Arcadia area,
I did.
so you are officially a native.
I am a native. I am a native. I'm born and raised. And then after the Scottsdale Princess, I got married and had two boys, and then I moved out to Cali for 17 years.
Yeah, and then
Valencia.
so when you came back, you started.
Started Goddess Fit.
So tell us a little about that, kind of the beginnings of that.
So, okay. So being in the industry for so long, you've got goals and you start hitting all of your goals. And, one of the goals was to open my own gym, right? Where else was it going to go? So I moved back to Scottsdale, first of all, for many reasons, property values are a little bit lower and, I can find a space. So I opened well, actually, to be honest with you, I was going to bring a women's franchise here from California that was 48 years corporate called Total Woman. And I changed my mind and went my own direction. And then I decided to call it Goddess Fit. And it was about 2,900, 3,000 square feet right on Hayden and Via de Ventura. Beautiful gym, state of the art equipment. I loved the members, and so many friendships have come out of that gym.
Yeah.
We went to 52 networking events in our pre-sale, and we had a great membership. It's just hard. A small business is hard to sustain. And my heart goes out to all the small businesses and all the gyms right now, just in general, trying to make it work and having to rally and do things virtual and, whatever they're going to do to get back, however they're going to get back, because I couldn't sustain it financially after a certain period of time. So I had to let it go, which, if you stay positive, was a conduit to get me to Jodi Stokes Fitness, to Lifescape, to being an author now. So you had to look at it as a positive light. So,
And I plan to get into Jodi Stokes Fitness in
okay.
just a minute. So I do
Okay.
want to talk about that too.
Okay.
But you did talk about the small business owner, the road, the journey there. What
Hmm.
has been some of the biggest challenges in just developing and getting to the point you are now in your business?
You know, Staying positive, Robert. You have to stay positive and realize through maybe your spirituality or everything else that some things aren't going to work out, but there's got to be something better on the other side, and stay your course. So, you know, especially times right now, and we haven't broached that subject because, we're going through a lot right now. I've never been through a pandemic before. No, neither has anyone else. I hope we never do. But I kind of want to say it applies to that. So you have to, if you're finding slips or slides, you got to keep being creative. You have to keep reinventing yourself. You have to keep forging forward. You have to, think outside the box constantly. How can we get members in? How can we do this? How can I right now keep my members through a pandemic that can't go to their home or they can't come here? So you rally. You're constantly rallying. And redirecting yourself and figuring out, okay, how can I make this work? Did that answer your question?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I have my
Okay.
own take on that. I guess that entrepreneurship journey on
Yeah.
my own. And it's always faced with challenges. So it's always kind of nice to hear that other people. And I think the common theme, with taking on a small business and doing stuff on your own is hearing that hey, you're not alone. And
Yeah.
I know like very much so. As I've started my business, this is the third business I'm in.
Mhm.
um, it is a very lonely road at times. And
Yeah.
reach out to different people, and you try to feel that you're not alone. But yet,
Yeah.
you're sitting here at 11 o'clock at night, typing away and trying to figure out what the next marketing thing is, and
Well, you
trying to
know,
determine whether or not you're doing the right thing.
you know what? I told my son, he works for Yelp, he does sales, and that's hard. So I told him, don't take it personally. Like if someone says no, there's someone else. One door closes and another door opens. And you have to be careful and just try not to take everything so personally, because maybe that person is just not right for that situation in that moment. And that's not easy to do. That's
Yeah,
not easy to do when we're in panic mode or we're trying to figure out how we're going to survive, which is what we're all kind of trying to do right now, I think. And through it, I hope that people are coming together more than ever, supporting each other.
Yeah, I hope so. And as we're going to get into our next segment, I do have to get into our sponsorships. And we'll
Okay.
be getting talking about the impact of the current situation, the virus, and everything that's going on in
Okay.
just a second.
Okay.
So there's no audio to this one. So Basaka Studio, Basaka Art Photography. Dora Basaka has been a sponsor of ours for a long time for our CEO network, basakaart.com, 480-479-2684. Basaka Art Photography, she has been an instrumental piece to the RCO network. As you can see the banner back here in our video, she's the one that did that for us. So she does a lot of print work as well as photography. So if you can reach out to Dora at Basaka Art, she will take care of your printing and photography needs. Again, basakaart.com, Dora Basaka, Basaka Printing. That's all good stuff. I love my Dora. Hi, and we're back, and we are with Miss Jodi Stokes from Jodi Stokes Fitness. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you? Down, man.
Doing good. You know, the challenge with any of this is like trying to stay focused and on the interview, but also on all the stuff we have to do.
You're doing great, Robert.
I love it.
Give yourself some props. You're doing a great job.
Pat on the
Big
back.
up job.
So, but not talking about my business. Let's talk about yours, Jodi. Jodi Stokes Fitness. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so tell me a little bit about Jodi Stokes Fitness. What is that about?
So after I closed the gym, I wanted to keep my members. So, geez, I mean, I think I took 3 days after I closed the gym to sleep. And then I started up my own business within another month. So what I did was I kept my clients, and I either, I got a mobile training license, and I got all my insurance, and I went into people's homes, or they came to me. I kind of have a cute garage or a room that's set up like a gym so that they could maintain their fitness. Because here's the thing, Robert, I was really close to my members, like family.
Yeah.
And when you're a personal trainer, which is something you mentioned in the beginning, like how do you know people really well. When you're training them, you have an opportunity to not just work with them, but take a little bit of their lives on and reflect on things. And so these people are my friends and my family. So what I did was I said, someone once said, why didn't you just call the gym Jodi's Gym? And so I heard the same thing with my business, Jodi Stokes Fitness. You've been in business for 30 years. Why not just call it your own name?
Yeah.
So got my website, got everything done. And I just started slow. I had to start all over again.
Is that a scary thing to do? Because you said you bounced back in just 3 days, and
3 days, started my own business in a month. Do you have a choice? You have a choice. You can feel sorry for yourself and not do anything, or you can move on, figure it out, move forward. And because people know me and have stayed with me for so long, I had so much support. It was great. So it stinks to have to do that, but you really don't have a choice. So
well, in coping with crisis, so one of the things you did want to talk about today was kind of because we are faced with this coronavirus and the circumstances around there. Kind of looking again at your Facebook, I would consider you a germaphobe just like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it is kind of scary to go out there and to be kind of separated, from everybody, but yet look for and yearn for the connection with people and maintain a business, because really a lot of businesses are developed on their people and who they know, and especially in the fitness industry. So how are you coping through this crisis?
Well, let me address the germaphobe thing, because well,
I'm a germaphobe.
I'm always like washing off my equipment, and I'm always going into, I'm always washing my hands when I come away from a client. Because think about it, you're dealing with sweat.
Yes.
So I clean it off before I go to them. I clean it off so I don't have to deal with the sweat. So dealing with that, coping. So this is how I personally cope with things, and this is what I'm trying to address to other people during this time. And everybody's going to cope differently, but I've gone through, like, I haven't gone through a pandemic before, but I've gone through tragic death in my family. My father was swimming, he was exercising, and he had a heart attack and he drowned. So that was really hard for my family. And, instead of taking, you know, antidepressants or drinking a lot of wine, I started running. That was like running hard, and getting all that angst and energy out was something that really helped me. So that's what I try to implore with people, like, instead of finding this vicious cycle of drinking or taking something to make you feel better in the moment, literally go exercise. So my heart says, during these times, which I love seeing all these people out walking and riding their bike and doing all these things right now, I truly believe with all of my heart that the best thing you can do in a crisis, no matter what it is try to get some exercise.
And so
And
is that in combination? Is that primary, or is that in combination with how you're eating, mental state? Is there?
well, it's all connected. It's all connected. I mean, we don't just eat kale to be thin. We eat kale because it's an antioxidant. All the fruits and all the vegetables are antioxidants, and they help your brain. Actually, there's a lot of links that are tied to depression with the foods that we're eating, or ADD, ADHD, and all of those kinds of things. So we need our brain health as much as we need our inner health. And I don't know if you've noticed during this crisis too, I might be getting off a little bit, but did you notice that a lot of unhealthy people with, stressed immune systems are the ones that are getting the sickest?
Yeah, and I think from the information that I received, a lot of people who are immune impacted do suffer from this a little bit more than other people.
Hmm.
And
So,
that's just my layman kind of observations, I suppose.
so hopefully people are learning from this more than ever, that it is literally more than ever important, more than ever, say that 5 times, to be healthy and watch your immune system. So yeah, you have to eat healthy. You have to get exercise. It's not an option. We were meant to hunt and gather. We weren't meant to sit all day long. So you need oxygen for your lungs. You need all these things. So that's personally how I cope, and I hope that other people are trying to learn to cope during these times. And taking a walk is free.
Oh yeah, and I've done that a number of times with my fiance too, and so the new norm appears to be kind of working out from home, and
Mhm.
and I'm sure that hasn't been, from my understanding, uh, vastly different than what you do already, because you do concierge in-person services, right?
Yes, yes,
Do you
yes.
want to talk about that a little bit more too?
I would love to. Well, I'm concerned about the gyms. Like I said, I don't diss any gyms. As long as people are working out, it's great. I think they're going to have a hard time coming back with all of the instructors that have gone online and are doing that, or going in home. I think people want to stay home right now, and it's just safe. I don't know when people are going to feel safe going out, or or feel the germaphobes going to the gym. And again, that hurts me, because I feel for these gyms and how they're going to survive it. However, yes, I've been going in home. I actually have been going in home, since I started when I was just a baby. But I have a niche too, and that's teaching water classes. So a lot of people have pools, and they feel safe in the pool. I can stand on the deck. They can work out in the pool. We're not even close to each other. There's a lot of things that you can do by working out at home or being on videos, and you're still connected.
Yeah, and
So,
I do have a clip of you working out from home, and maybe you can kind of talk a little bit about that.
okay.
Um,
Which one is this? Oh, you did get that.
so this one specifically, you're just giving tips
Yes,
regarding
this
working
is
out from home.
Trainer Tip Tuesday.
Yeah, who's that? Look at that! Look at that $1 million smile on there. I did that on purpose.
Gabriella got a good one. That's hilarious. That's funny. Yeah, that's the garage. That's a Trainer Tip Tuesday. So every day I have something during the week. I have Yummy Monday, which is a healthy food tip. Trainer Tip Tuesday. Wednesday is some kind of midweek exercise. Thursday is Thursday, so I might make a smoothie, or I might do something. And Friday is Friday. So right now it's advertising one of my clients doing something fun.
But and I see that on Facebook. As I was going, you have a personal page, which, thank you for the friend acceptance.
Thank you for
I'm sure not everybody gets that privilege, but I did notice that you do have a fan page, or a business page on
business.
there. And so on that business page, there's a number of videos on there that really, this is where I we picked that one out of. But there's a number of videos out there that kind of talk about those Tuesday tips and some of the other things you have going on. Is there any other information that they can pull from that website?
So I don't even have the tips on the website, but they can go to Facebook or Jodi Stokes Fitness. Also Instagram is Jodi_J_Stokes. And it's easy. Sometimes I think it's easier, on certain pages. It just depends on what you like. But a lot of people have actually commented on the trainer tips helping. And I don't know if you noticed, maybe not, but during the pandemic, I started doing, okay, this is an individual circuit and the exercises are a little bit longer. And, there was one you could do with your kids with cones and fun stuff like that. So, you can follow me there and message me, and I help however I can.
Yeah. And one of the things I did want to emphasize too is that, going through the number of videos that I saw, they don't always include, like that last clip included weights and, a medicine ball and some, some stretch ropes and, whatever. But a lot of the tips that you give don't even require that. I mean, I think the most gear you had to have was like running shoes and maybe some shorts. But you're out there in the park, and actually, I think I have another clip of one of those.
I'm like, oh.
You're gonna get the real treatments.
This is funny. This is like, I feel like I'm on the Ellen show and you're showing clips or something. Oh, this was
Start with step ups, right leg, left leg. Watch that knee, don't let it go over your ankle. Bring it down for 4 push-ups.
Again, it's a lot of the tips, a lot of the exercises that you kind of explain and go through.
Whip it back around.
Well, in this video, like there's no weights. There's a park bench, which is fairly common.
And there were so many people at the park around that time.
Pop that foot up there. Watch again. Not going over your ankle.
And people would see me doing those, and then I would see people in the park doing it. It was cute.
Go ahead.
Is it weird? Is it weird to set up a camera and start filming yourself? Or?
No, I always have a boot camp. That's always after boot camp on Mondays. I always have somebody film it for me. So I've never done my own video ever.
So you have a film crew that follows you?
I have a film person.
That's how good you have it.
Whoever's the last person at boot camp has to do my video. That's usually what happens.
So I do want to get into boot camp too, because I do have a video of that. But since we're nearing the middle mark of our show today, we do have more sponsors, and we love our sponsors, especially this guy.
There's no real balance in life, but you have to balance things out the best you can. My passion simply comes down to appreciation. Anything I have, as minimal as it may be, that I can see others that aren't as fortunate. I'm just thankful that I have life. I'm thankful I have my general health to begin with, so that I can fight for goals that I have. I think the person deep down is generally an entrepreneur. They're not. You're just that personality type. You don't fit the mold of doing a job just to get by. When I did it, it's because I had a passion that I wanted to do things and not be dictated by corporate rules and the establishment. Living by my guidelines, not needing somebody else to provide for me. My name is James Castaneda, owner of Expert IT Support, and this is our CEO Network.
That was Mr. James.
Awesome ad.
Yeah, we did that filming close to about 9 months ago, actually. And so James Castaneda, Expert IT Support, he's been a long-term supporter, and he's really good at karaoke. So if you get the chance to see him out there on the karaoke run, he's probably out there singing his heart away.
I will look for it.
just keep the whiskey away.
Because I'm out there so much.
And so we were talking a little bit about kind of your business and what you're doing, and we left off with some of the boot camps.
Mm-hmm.
I do have another video.
Oh boy.
Welcome to the Ellen Robert Morales RCO show.
Is this the group? The last one I did was to you got to keep them separated. Sometimes Facebook takes me off.
This one I'm not
right
sure.
Leg.
This is
Left
how we
leg.
do it. This is right at the
Right
beginning of
leg.
the pandemic.
Hold it steady, bicep
Yeah, and I
8.
see everybody's
Go.
already
8.
6 feet socially
Awesome.
distanced.
7,
This is
6,
how we do it, yeah.
5, 4, 3.
So again, kind of exploring that. You do in park or at least out in the community, so people don't feel so confined at home.
Yes, yes.
Do they contact you? Do you want to talk about what those are like and what they do to be part of those?
So, um, with my personal clients, I give them an opportunity to also do boot camp. Let's say they want to train with me once a week, but they want to be around some other people too, so they can do boot camp. So we've been at Mountain View Park, and then sometimes, like right now, we're going to be at the park maybe once a week because it's getting hot. So
Yeah.
we're going to be meeting in a pool at a private pool here soon. We meet in different places sometimes, so it makes it more interesting and fun. But everyone has to bring their own equipment, so they're required to bring a couple of sets of weights, maybe a ball on a day. But every single workout is different. It might be kickboxing one day. It might be having a ball, which they bring their ball. It might be weapons of mass destruction. Actually, we call it destruction.
Oh boy.
Sorry
And so to kind of go through the services that you offer, because again, when I read concierge, to me that means very personal, very catered to my situation, what's going on with me.
Mhm.
What services do you offer as Jodi Stokes Fitness?
So I offer half-hour sessions and hour sessions, 2 to 3 times a week. It just depends on how many times you want to work out. Right now, I'm either calling people on the phone or I'm going in their home. Not very many people in their home, or they come to me. I'm also at Lifescape Premier, which is a medical concierge facility. Have you ever heard of Lifescape? It's
No.
awesome. Lifescape. So I have clients there too. And what I like about the facility is that their doctors are on, so I have all of their medical background so that I can work with them in specific forms and shapes so that they can, get results. I like that. And that's pretty much what it is. I'm pretty busy actually
So,
during
so,
this.
so what's the overall goal? Is it, every time I've gone to the gym, I see those like bulky, like 300-pound, just all pure muscle guys. And I don't necessarily want to get to that point. I guess maybe like uh, maybe like a Brad Pittish, kind of slender and slim, but um, um, I guess what can I do to kind of be better for myself? What tips can I get?
Well, you're gonna have to pay me for that. No, I'm just kidding. Okay,
Oh boy.
no, I'm totally kidding. Okay, so everybody has different goals and different wants and different needs, and everybody's made differently. So I can't prescribe you without knowing a little bit of like what orthopedic limitations you have, stuff like that. So let me preface that with that.
Okay.
Someone might need balance work. Someone might need core work. We lose 10% of our balance every decade after 40. So I work a lot with balance. It might be a one-legged squat. If you want to work on your abs, we're going to work on your abs, but you're also going to have a really strict diet because that's pretty much it, unless you're genetically ripped. Muscle hypertrophy. So we want to make the muscle bigger. Then we have to lift heavier weights. So it's dependent on each person and what they want, to aspire to or what they want to see. And it doesn't happen overnight, but it can happen you can see within 21 days, you can feel results. You can feel results in one workout, but you can start seeing things in about 21 days.
So do you have a number of men that you also support too?
I do. I have, but they have to have heavier weights at their place. I don't have a lot of, I used to have a 45-pound plates and load them on to the thing. So, but most of the gentlemen that I work with are working on, just trying to maintain flexibility or basic muscle, so we work a lot of function, a lot of your own muscle groups and a lot of function, a lot of.
Okay, so if I did call you, we would essentially go over a very specific regimen based on my goals, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
your goals, your wants, your needs. And then I have to go deep too. I need to know what you're eating, when you're eating it, how you're eating it. Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to tell you that.
And then you get homework too. So you have to do things because it's not, well, it's not affordable for everyone. But 1 or 2 times a week people take on a session, but you can't just work out 2 times a week. You need it, if you want to see gains, you're going to have to work out 4 or 5 times a week. You can't just, but maintaining is good if you're in a good space at 2 times a week, 3 times a week.
Yeah, and I will say that my own personal story. At my lowest point in life, I was somewhat depressed, in a bad situation, and just in life. And I had gotten up to about 320 pounds, and it wasn't muscle.
Look at
And
you.
so
Good.
making those transitions has always been more kind of mental, and I guess the physical part more about the eating part. So
Yeah.
does your regimen also include kind of very specifics of what to eat and how to eat it and times and that sort of thing?
So, it's much more intricate than that, because then there's also things like, what do people have allergies? So, but yes, I can answer that to a yes. And I try to give people, recommendations, I like to call it, because I'm not a certified nutritionist. There
Yeah.
is a certified nutritionist at Lifescape, and Dana's great. But I have recommendations. But see, what I do might not work for you.
Yeah.
And so it's a test. It's a test, Robert. So we'll try something, and if you start to see results, then we're on the right track. But let me tell you the most basic thing you can do is, if it doesn't come from a plant or a tree, or is grass fed and grass finished, and or swims in a brook, it's probably not great for you. We know that. So, but we do it anyway. So what you're putting in your mouth is bad, but you do it anyway because it feels good in the moment, and you really don't care till the next day. You're like, oh God, why did I do that? So my point is, don't do it. If you're gonna feel bad about it the next day, don't do it. Your body's a temple. You need it for a long time. You need your immune system to be strong. So feed it good things. It's really. I'm not yelling at you. I just, it's so
Is that
simple.
bag of Cheetos still hanging out?
Yeah.
I could have sworn those Cheetos swim in a creek somewhere.
That's awesome. Right. Well, sometimes I get a little tough lovey with my, my clients, but they know, and then they're depressed because bad food truly depresses you. Did you ever see Super Size Me?
I have seen it. Yeah, that was one of the
Okay,
reasons why I stopped going to the Mickey
right.
D's.
So that kind of food, and that kind of food, those companies, they don't care about you. They just want to be making money. So they don't care about your health. They don't care about, so we know what we're doing wrong. Honestly, we kind of do it anyway until someone says you're sick. I have 2 quotes. One is, don't wait for a life change to change your life.
Yeah.
And the other one is, exercise isn't a chore, it's a privilege. And that's because my dad had polio, and he still swam, and he still rode his bike, and he still, did push-ups and sit-ups every day. And so I developed that from him. We kind of take our health for granted, and we can't do it anymore. Or we shouldn't. It's the most important thing you have.
No, I absolutely agree. And it was life-changing, not only losing the weight, but seeing the impact of food and watching videos like Super Size Me, and realizing what impact food has on us, not only physically, but mentally too.
Mentally.
And
I'm
and
proud of
even
you.
that's been even a tougher road there too, overcoming the emotional stress and strain
How
that
much
got me
did
to
you
get.
lose? Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but how much you did it? But you did it, so you're an inspiration. How much did you lose?
About 90 pounds.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a world of difference. I didn't even recognize myself in the pictures.
Yeah.
I used to have a beard actually, and anytime I grow it out now, it reminds me of that time, because it was always like that mask that hid kind of the weight gain. It's just funny how the emotional torment is still always there, and I think that's the bigger challenge in really getting a grasp and hold on your weight and how you feel about yourself. I think that's more of the thing, and so since I have you here and I have your attention, well, because a lot of us go to work. A lot of us are stuck in a desk or a cubicle or working from home, maybe watching kids in the background, whatever. Is there stuff that they can do at the desk that kind of keep them going? Or I know they have those lifter desks and you can kind of walk as you're stand up, but is there exercises or things you can do at your desk or in between things in
So
order
it's funny
to
because
maintain it?
I did a busy girl workout. I did a busy girl workout. I was an article.
Yeah.
It was an article once. Did you see that? Did you scroll through that?
No, I
Did you
hadn't.
miss that one? Okay, so yes, you can do dips off of the back of the chair. You know what dips are? That means you turn around where your hands are on the back of the chair and you can lower and push up. I mean, make sure that your chair doesn't have rollers on it. You know,
My chair has
like
a roller.
make sure you have a stable chair, and you can do push-ups on a desk. You can do push-ups on a wall. And in fact, I encourage people at least every hour to get up and do something. I mean, don't worry about getting a little, you're not going to get sweaty. It's not like you're doing a ton of things. Most important would be to get up and walk around. Think about it. You're using your arms. You can squeeze your tush. You can walk. And we have what Fitbits tell us to get up and walk around now.
I like to squeeze my tush is my preference.
Squeeze your tush.
So as I'm sitting here, I can just,
Okay, so stand up.
oh boy.
Okay, are you hooked up?
I have pants on today. So.
Okay, so scoot the chair back so we can
Oh,
see your
boy.
face. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear
Are
you.
you hooked? Okay.
I don't
so
know what
if
I'm
you-
doing.
If you stand up straight,
Oh, yes.
good. Now just almost sit back on the chair, but you have a roller chair,
I have a roller chair.
and then stand up. So you want to almost sit down and then stand up, and almost sit down and then
Oh, like
stand
that?
up. Yep, but I'm worried about your chair. So yeah, that's a squat. And so you want to make sure that your knees don't go over your ankles, because that's really hard on your knees. So you want to sit back and sit back and then stand up. So you can start by sitting and tapping the seat and then standing up, and then you can work your way to doing it. You're all hooked up. That's a really hard one to do.
I need a personal session.
Session. But you can do push-ups you can do dips, you can do all kinds of things. My biggest suggestion would be that people don't understand you don't need an hour to work out, honestly. I mean, a lot of people, that's why people aren't going to the gyms as much, because you got to drive there and you got to check in and someone might talk to you and you got to be there for, like, people think you need to be there for an hour. I have 25-hour sessions. It's actually 25-minute and 55-minute sessions, and we get a great workout. It's kind of a no-nonsense thing. So if people learn how to, literally, you could get 25 minutes in 3 times a week and make significant difference.
Yeah, and I did read that too. And then one of the other things I was going to bring up that I almost forgot is you do help people in triathlons or prepare for marathons. Is that my understanding?
Yes. So one of my certifications was an RRCA running coach. So remember when I was talking about when my dad passed away and I started running? Okay, so I started running, and that's what helped me. That's what I did. That's what helped me cope. I started a running club called Jodi, and I trained almost hundreds of people to do their first half marathon, which is on a lot of people's bucket list.
Yeah, I think I actually have another photo that I might be able to share, and you can give some insight on it.
Okay.
So this photo in particular, I think that's you in the yellow, right?
That's me in the yellow. Yes.
So is this a marathon, half marathon?
That was the hippity hoppity half. Yes, that was when I still had Goddess Fit, and that was April of 18, April 18, and that's Raquel, Alex, and Natasha. Yes. So we did. Yeah, that was really hot that day too. But I trained those 3. And that was here. And then the last half I trained 2 people. We did PF Chang's. I've done like 5 of those PF Chang's, but those girls, they did great. They were amazing. I was proud of them.
And do you have like a list or do you know about any marathons or anything that's going on in Phoenix? I mean, with the coronavirus, it's been kind of like there's a bit of a hindrance on that, but.
So I had signed up for Pat's run. Pat's 4.2, and it went virtual. It was the very first run, and I did that with another client, but we had to check in virtually through what's called Strava, and so that was the last one I did. But they're all virtual now.
So there's no marathons. Is there a site that they go to find out more information about marathons?
Yeah, just, you know what? Honestly, go just look up marathons, half marathons, and there's so many local. There's active.com, which hosts a lot, but a lot of different marathons are hosted by different groups.
Perfect. And as we come to the last segment of our show, Miss, I do have to sponsor us. So RCO Network, if you want to market your business here at RCO Network, we create marketing videos for you. We offer social media manager support and highlight you in our network marketing events. Instant message us here on Facebook at RCO Network for details about becoming a sponsor and one of our members at RCO Network, rconetwork.com, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Oh, and I got to mention Desodia. Desodia Social Media Management. That's the marketing wing of who we are. Gabriella, she's the one that set us up. Gonna get a woohoo for Gabby.
Woohoo.
Oh yeah. There's only one other one other person here. So, and then Insight Productions for setting up the audio video for today's show. So hello again, Miss.
Hello again.
So last question. It's our question and answer session. So if there's any questions, Miss Violet, please share them. I do have a couple questions that came in before we started the show. So we have a woman by the name of Heather from Phoenix. I'm going to be getting married later this year. I have about 6 months to get fit. What should I do to feel better about slipping into my dress?
Heather, congratulations, first of all. That's exciting.
Yes, congratulations, Heather.
Yes, congratulations. 6 months, did she say? 6 months?
Yeah, it says 6 months.
6 months. All right. Well, first of all, don't think. You got to just literally get out and do it. This is what I tell clients. Just get out, go for, a 25-minute walk every day. You can follow some of these videos that are on my Facebook or my Instagram, but, don't do too much. It depends on what you want to do, but don't do too much muscle work because your dress might get tighter. So you want to kind of stay on the cardio, keep doing a little bit of cardio. Do lighter weights so that you have some muscle tone, but don't be lifting heavy weights because your dress might start to fit a little bit tighter because you might, be getting bulky. It depends on your body type too. I don't know what your body type is.
Yeah, and I've heard intermittent fasting kind of helps and assists with some of that. Do you have any insight and kind of your perspective on intermittent fasting?
I wish I did. I'm not a big fan of kind of the hype, whether it's keto or it's intermittent fasting. I just believe, like I said, eat healthy eat lots of vegetables, eat lots of good proteins. If you're not hungry, don't eat. But if you're hungry, eat small meals, eat small meals throughout your day, and that keeps your metabolism going. So I wish that I could comment on that. I just believe that everybody's body's different. For me, if I don't eat, I won't have enough energy to go on to my next appointment or go do anything else. So it's just completely separate. If you start fasting too much and not eating and you lose weight, that weight will come right back, if not more. So go see doctors for stuff like that, I feel.
Yeah, because I tried the intermittent fasting thing and it just didn't necessarily work for me. So
yeah, I lose my energy.
I felt more hungry than anything else. So
thinking about it. Don't think about it all the time. What we need to do is eat to survive. Don't survive to eat.
And stay away from the chips and Cheetos. No Cheetos. What about chips and salsas? Chips? No.
I love chips and salsa. I love margaritas. I love all that stuff. I'm not that. I'm good, but I go and enjoy life. Yeah, sure.
I did see that. And so I didn't know if have you ever come across a situation where somebody scoffed you and be like, "Hey, you're supposed to be eating greens and now you're over here at Red Lobster having a lobster. What's wrong with you?"
No, because I think most people can look and see that based on my age and my body, and I have to be mostly 85% of my life has to be dedicated to health and wellness. Don't you think? They're probably like, thank God she's normal. She's having what did I post the other day? A Truly. Did you see that?
Oh, I did see that. Yeah. The lemonade one.
Yeah. Lemonade Truly, which apparently are really hard to find, but my son really liked them. And I did a little stage picture with this yellow, but so I try to be kind of well-rounded, that's why I think people stay with me. Cause it's not intimidating. It's just,
it's good. It's good genes.
Good genes.
Let's see. We got Greg from Chandler. Says, I do moderate exercise. I could do better, but I can never seem to lose my gut. Oh. And are there foods I should avoid or workouts I could do to improve this area?
Well, Greg, usually was it Greg?
Yes, I got Greg.
Okay. Good. So when we're trying to lose our gut, it might be portion control. honestly. So while you might only be eating 3 times a day or something like that, it may be your portions. So I would take a look at that. There's no spot reducing, but you still can do a lot of core exercises that will help, cardio. Did you know that if you lift weights and you do lift heavy weights, you burn more calories lifting weights than you do by doing cardio? Cardio will smooth out your body a little bit, but the weights will help tone and build muscle. So the heavier the weights you use, the more calories you burn, and the more post-metabolic burn you'll have. So you want to be burning calories, but you want to watch the portion control on your gut. That's usually what that's caused from. Are
Yeah.
you drinking too much, Greg? Are you drinking too much? Are you
Well, it doesn't
eating
say
too
that.
much? Yeah. Yeah. So
You
you
might be a
gotta.
Cheetos guy too.
What kind? Flaming hot?
Regular. Got to go old school.
Regular Cheetos? I haven't had a Cheeto. I haven't had a Cheeto in forever.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
lick
haven't.
my fingers.
No. My biggest weakness is chips and salsa. So.
Chips and salsa.
And my justification is like, well, the chips are corn,
Yeah, I usually will determine if it's a good restaurant by their chips and salsa and margaritas.
Yeah, is there, and I've heard there's a difference between bad carbs and good carbs. I mean, is there bad good carbs and not so bad?
Yeah,
Less than
there's
bad carbs?
terrible carbs and good carbs. So okay, there's complex carbs and there's simple carbs. So complex carbs are mostly, your vegetables. So when people say they shouldn't eat carbs, I'm like, yes, you should be eating vegetables. There's simple carbs. So simple carbs, you don't want to be eating white flour, white sugar, processed foods. Those are bad. Those are all bad.
So
Processed
like bake
foods.
items.
Yeah. So yeah, you shouldn't be eating those, but don't negate the benefits of the healthy carbs, and those are fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, because when
Good breads, good healthy nutty, good bread.
what's a go-to bread that you might use? Or
I eat Dave's or Ezekiel, and my go-to breakfast literally is about a half a banana and some peanut butter. And sometimes I make my own energy bars from oats and non-bleached flour. I put in fruit like raisins and stuff like that. And then I might have a piece of bread with peanut butter and jam, and that's my go-to.
looks like we got a question. Is yoga a good form of exercise? Do you teach yoga in your classes?
I'm not a yogi. I don't sit for very long. I don't. I'm not a sitter, but I love yoga. I do. I've hired a lot of yoga instructors in my time, and I can do it every once in a while. So yes, yoga is amazing. Yoga is well-rounded, whether you're doing hot yoga or not. It's, you have to balance yourself on your arms. You have to do push-ups. I love yoga. Yoga is amazing. I'm just that type of person that needs to sweat and work out and use weights and get it out of my system. But I do need yoga. Those types of people need yoga more, but the yoga people need to work on their heart rates and need to work on their muscle tone in other areas. Anything you do, you need to kind of change up every once in a while because your body becomes immune to things really fast. So change it up often.
So you should change your regimen every season, every
season.
Kind of like hair color.
That's why I'm excited. Water's starting. We didn't talk about that.
Oh, let's talk about water exercise.
In my book, this is the first time I've ever been shown with my book. I usually take pictures of other people. So water exercise, and people don't understand. They think it's an old lady's workout, where your arms are out of the water and you're doing one of these. Everything in the water is a double concentric contraction, which means when you do a bicep curl, you're also doing a tricep extension, right? Because you're pushing through the water. You're not working on, there's no gravity, right?
Yeah.
So envision yourself doing a bicep curl, but your arms have to go down. So now they're pushing back through the water. The more viscous you make the water, that means the faster you push it, right? The harder, the faster you push it, the more resistance is placed on your muscles. Also, for people who are injured, they're more buoyant in the water. So if you're chest deep, you're 85% buoyant. So there's less impact on your joints, your knees, your back, everything. And so because you're using more muscle in the water and more activity in the water, you're actually getting more of a benefit for longer. So if you do 10 minutes of water exercise, it's like 20 minutes on land.
Yeah, and you said that's your book.
Yeah.
Is it where could we go to find it?
Just look up Jodi Stokes on Amazon. It just came out on Easter. I've been working on it for 18 years. That's a long story for another podcast, but
let me see if I can find it real quick. But no, go ahead, keep talking about it.
So yeah, it's hot in Arizona right now. So get in the pool, and I mean let's see if you can see any, like that's a flutter kick. Can you see it? I can.
I could see it. Yeah.
So I had someone take pictures of me and then superimpose pictures. So they're standing at the deck. There's exercises. There's leg extensions. There's also deep water exercises like kicking and split changing and jumping jacks. And then I use noodles and buoys and some things too. So it's a good guide. It's also for teachers. Teachers can use the guide.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
I'm
And then
going
there's
to.
pictures with buoys or pictures with noodles, because everybody can grab a noodle. So it shows you, exercises that you can do for your triceps, your biceps. It's pretty, yeah, I'm very excited.
So if you go to Amazon.com, water exercise, you can click on there, paperback for $9.99 and free delivery by June 4th. Order now.
That was great. Thank you for that plug. Yeah. That was awesome. Yes. So there's a story behind it too. Yeah, it was dedicated to my dad. So it's and it's $9.99. So hopefully some of the proceeds, they don't have benefits for polio anymore. So hopefully I'll be able to do it for MS, where you have balance issues and the water helps.
Yeah, and they can get to know you and know your story and obviously know your business a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Again, we're here with Jodi Stokes from Jodi Stokes Fitness. Find her at Jodi Stokes Fitness on Facebook, jodistokes.com. We just saw that she was on Amazon for her water exercise book for $9.99. Get your copy today. So we're coming kind of to the end of our show. I don't see any other questions, but is there any last kind of word? You always get the last word with us here, either talking about something we've talked about or something that inspires you or something that you want people to walk away from. Is there anything you want to share since we have you here?
I know times are hard. We're all trying to navigate through it the best that we can. My heart goes out to anybody who's having a hard time right now in any way, shape, or form. But just keep your head up the best that you can. I always believe that exercise is the best way to do that, and ask for help if you need it in any way. We're all in this together in this new norm. We're trying to figure it out. So nobody's doing better than anybody else right now. We're all just trying to figure it out, and just have hope and faith that things will get better. And if you can make change on your own, then make change, figure it out on your way. And I'm always just trying to keep people up and inspired and motivated, and that's just kind of how I do.
And the thing I appreciate the most, in our limited conversations, even today, the biggest takeaway is you seem like a real person. We do get kind of caught up in Facebook and the superficiality of life, and sometimes what we see is not what we perceive is not really reality. And so that's my biggest takeaway, is that you just seem like a very genuine, honest, upfront person, and that's one thing I can appreciate. Plus, you look like you're 30 and you're like 57, so that's amazing. I'm like looking at pictures. I'm like looking at a picture of your sons that you're standing right next to. Okay, hold on. Let me put that.
They had mustaches too. That was Movember. That was Movember. Yeah.
Hold on. I got it coming up. You look like the sister in this triangle here.
Thank you.
I'm sure the mustache.
Look at their big old mustaches. That was Thanksgiving. Clark is on my on my right, but to your left, and that's Reese on my left, but you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever get hit on by their friends, like not knowing that you're their mom?
No. I don't even get hit on anywhere.
Oh boy, that's another discussion for another day. But again, thank you very much, Miss Jodi Stokes, for being just you. And find Jodi here on Facebook at Jodi Stokes Fitness or jodistokes.com. So thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much for having me, and stay safe and healthy. To Violet and Gabriella too. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.